everybody. Welcome to Mystics MMOs. I'm your host, Mystic Raven. Alright, so, I have to do yesterday's dailies because I didn't get to finish them. So, we are going to get this out of the way. Oh, DPS, hold on. Yes, please and thank you. Bingo, baby. I love when I actually get to play on my deeps. Not too often. I'm always typically getting everything else out of the way. So my goal now is to level up the rest of my jobs, obviously, and trying to get this out of the way. And while we're in the queue, we do what? Oh, we fish. Or hunt. Or gather. Typically. That's what I like to do. There's other things you can do in a game, for sure. Just makes time more efficient. Can't stress that enough. Just be efficient with time. You might be restricted in time. Like today I've got a bunch of little things I got to do. It's stacked. So, you know, and I'm still trying to get my video edited and stuff, which, you know, it happens. Trying to get my daily stream in. So, yeah, you know, there's a lot. So what do? Like, you're in a game, you have X amount of time, and it's like, okay, well, I'm in the queue system. I might be DPS, I might be something, I might be waiting on a queue. To me, that's, you know, you need to be productive if you want to, you know, get somewhere. Even in a video game, it's about production. I can't even carry it. I forgot to put the other one up for sale. Damn it. That'll teach me. That's a level up. And I got another bottle. Holy crap. Sky fishing? Shut up. I can sky fish now? Damn fish. Damn fish. So it said average wait time 6 minutes. We'll see. Man, the pike are not biting. Come on, pike. I hate fishing. Ugh. 9 minutes. Oh, no. Note to self. Sell, bottle, or use it. Feel like I'm one of those dudes on the My God, really? Shut up. How many times can I catch the same bottle? Oh. Oh my God. What bait am I using? I'm using a jig. Let's put on the glowworm. Come on, Pike. Look at the snow. It's a fish. "12 minutes. Damn it." Yes. Got one of the little bastards. Now let's mooch him. Totally in for this. Cut away. What the hell is in this little pond? Loch Ness or some shit? What? Come on. All right. There we go. Love my samurai. Come on. Okay. B team. All right. Pick a spot. Oh, it's gonna get us killed. can't get into that shit. Morning, dude. Coffee, definitely. Definitely. I got my coffee. For sure, for sure. Don't play without it. Don't ever play without it. This is my next goal, is get this and my summoner scholar, summoner / scholar up to 70. And then I'll finish off with the machinist, white mage, and astrologian. And by the time that all breaks out, then I should have follow up with red mage and my support DPS classes. Support DPS class is going to be important for me to have, because I don't know what we're going to be able to recruit, which is a necessity. But I love the samurai. I don't anticipate playing Sam as a main. I don't anticipate it, either that or the red mage. But I want those to be like my classes, my DPS, my primary DPS classes. Okay, he's going to focus on that. I'll focus on this. It's fine. I love the samurai. I love the fucking samurai. And it's so different. It's unique. That's the one thing I think I appreciate the most about this game is how unique the classes are in Final Fantasy. Oh shit. How did I pull aggro? Oh, I forgot about that. The thing definitely takes away all my... Come on. Thank you. Ah! Stop moving him! God. Anybody loot that? Oh, it's Crimson Gloves. I'm fucking definitely greeting on those. Nah, mechanics definitely. Everybody's like, it scales, but there's a cap to the thing. I got maybe 10 more quests until Stormblood. Psych, yeah, dude, like dude, what'd you think? Like when Rabal, like all that shit that went down in fucking Aldal, I was like, oh my god. I think it was a good follow-up, like how you got introduced to Heaven's Ward and everything that's happening in Heaven's Ward with Nirnholm and all that. Oh my god, right? It's good. And there's going to be a couple story twists. You're going to be like, what the fuck? Like how? Go, man. Go tank, go tank, go tank, go. Alright. This part sucks being melee. Sucks. Okay, I got it, so. Notice what I did? I moved it back. Done. Pally. I ran Zelophatol and ran into the Warriors of Darkness, so that guy in the cutscene is not a representative of us as player characters. He's a Warrior of Darkness, right? Dude, you feel where where it's kind of going? Like, and they were talking about the light, the balance. Dude, seriously, fucking kick-ass shit. That's why I'm saying it's getting interesting, isn't it? How the plot's leading up. And it's making me appreciate it. I think it's still a little drawn out, but I appreciate the story, right? And there's just so much more. Wait until you get into Stormblood and some of the twists in there. Oh my god, it's like, wow, okay. Can we please get it? Just hello. This is gonna be a bitch. Yeah, it's nice getting cleaved. Okay. Over here. Can we get him turned, please? Or not. Go, 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 go. Bingo. What? Let me try this. I haven't seen this one yet. I don't know. I'll agree on it, but I don't know. The story is so good. I love how the dungeons and trials are interwoven into the story. Yeah, it makes sense, and it does. I'm more of a meat potatoes person myself, so sometimes I wish it was just accessible. But then when you play through it and you have all these stories that are like interwoven, like you said, and how the dungeons apply, it makes sense. So I do like that. I like how it's relevant. I just hate sometimes that you have to go through so much to get to that point. But it is good. It makes sense. Absolutely. So we just got that done. Let me clear that out. And normal raids needs a tank. I've already done all of this stuff. Oh, but I do also have to do the main one. So let me switch up to my main tank. Alright, because I got to do this one yet. Boy, that was quick. That was quick. I'm almost 66 on the Sam. Almost. I'll have him. I'll have him probably by next week, early next week, 70. And then get the healers and everything else be downhill. Machinist, red mage, and I gotta find time to level up. It's not finding time, it's just like you said, Kel, it's about prioritizing. I like what you're doing. You're prioritizing your main. You've got your other classes unlocked, so you're ready to whatever. Ooh, I love that waterfall. I love the mist. Look at the mist. Oh my god, it's amazing. Look at the mist coming off that. You can see the, oh my god, amazing. You can look at that. Look at the just simply amazing graphics. you pull without me, it is not my fault. Last time I say it, let the tanks pull. It's always the red mages, man. I'm telling you, they got, you know, trigger fingers. It's a seahorse. Seahorse. I wouldn't want to stand behind a horse. I'd stand on the side of a horse. Have you ever heard of getting bucked? Typically you stack on its ass, but a horse, I don't think that's such a good idea. There is no way I am getting close to that bastard. Oh shit. Nay. Nay, horse. Nay. Come on out. His name's Kelpie. Uh-oh, that's my job. Hold on, stop. It's like Ghostbusters. Don't cross the stream. Okay. Come on. Come on, Kelpie. Graphically, this game is just, it is a good game. It's a good game. Why is it always the goddamn red mages? You notice? Did you guys see it? Did you guys see it? It's always the fucking red mages. Making my job harder and shit. Just let me do my job, man. Trying to bring them in closer together. There we go. Like a glove. Excuse me. Blah, blah, blah. Pass. Stack 'em up. Round 'em up, round 'em up, round 'em up. So how's your pugs been going, dude? Have they been pretty good? I'll have to ask, Cal. I have to ask. How's your pugs been going? Mitch. Yo, Mystic, what up? Did you ever hear back from the business people about your company? Yeah, here's what I've found out. I'm not going to be able to do this in Ohio, probably, most likely. I've been told the funny thing. Like, I did the work. I did my work. I did my shit. But once again, here's my problem. I don't like people who have resources, who have money, basically, and who don't know what the fuck they're talking about. It's just like, especially ones who have an education. Because then I have to really start to question the education system. And I have to really start questioning, like, what the fuck is going on in this world? Because literally, I got to talk to even Zai about this. One guy, and I won't mention names. Well, I will be professional and courteous to say this. One person was like, who's a bigwig, who's a pretty important person, anyways. Literally had asked me, well, had made the statement, oh, I was under the impression that video games are solo produced, and I'm like, say what? And he's like, well, why does it cost so much money? And why does it? I'm like, dude, listen, man. I just went over all of this information. All of it. All of it. I just gave it to you. I handed it to you. And literally, like, and then I was talking to a couple of you. Like, one university was all for it. There are people who are for it in the state. The problem of it is the people who are literally running the show locally anyways, are questionable. Beyond questionable. And I could relocate if I wanted to, but that wasn't the point. It was for trickle economics. And like I told the one guy, who I do respect, there was an individual I do respect, and he is a professional, but he never got a hold of me again. And I told him, I was like, man, listen, man, it's all about trickle economics. I mean, we can say what we want, but, you know, if we're not putting in, you know, the understanding of what the relevance of what it's going to do locally, economically, then why am I even here? And I'm like, you guys can feel free to do it without me. Good luck. I wish you all the best. And I'm an asshole. And I am. But I don't have patience. And I told the one individual, I'm like, I don't have patience to educate overprivileged people. Like, if they want to be in this business and they want to take this business serious and they want to reap the benefits, they should educate themselves. They should be educating themselves, because I don't have patience for people who never had to really earn their money, right? Let alone, you know, hand them the golden fleece and say, oh, you know what? Just, I'll bend over and you can just whatever. It's like, you know what, guys? If you want to do this, I need like-minded individuals. I need people who can see the big picture. And it was brought up, and I told the one person, I was like, you know, somebody at one time didn't take certain individuals serious. It was a gangster. And he had envisioned putting his business in the middle of a fucking desert. When everybody thought he was nuts, he put his business in the middle of fucking nowhere. As a tourist attraction, nonetheless. Because of what? Because of the legal discrepancies. And you know what it is today? If you haven't guessed, you probably know. It's Las Vegas. It's Las Vegas. And I'm like, I can't be around people who don't know what the fuck they're talking about. I honestly can't be. I don't have the patience. I do not have the patience. And the one guy's like, oh, well, what do you want from us? I'm like, well, I don't want your fucking money. I'm like, we could get investors outside of the area. I'm like, I need a reliable, full resource, a place to educate my future employees. That's why I'm here with you guys today. I don't give a fuck how rich you are. I don't give a fuck about your money. I don't even want your money, because it's irrelevant compared to what we're looking at. It's insignificant. I'm like, we can get a 54.76 return within the first year on on low end return. 54.76 profit margin on a low end. The way I did my work. I'm like, that's what I'm good at. That's what I do. Well, I did. And that's what I know. So it's like, I ain't got time, man. I need to be around professionals who are educated. And if you think you're educated, boy, oh boy, you were just really fucking wrong. Don't say things that are stupid. Like, I love how when somebody tries to psychoanalyze you, like, you can't psychoanalyze me, man. I'm psychoanalyzing you by your comments. And I don't have fucking patience. And here's the thing, if you're fucking a goddamn privileged little bitch, do yourself a favor and just shut the fuck up and put your money where you're going to get the most return. There's my advice to you, you little fucking privileged cockboy. And I hope I hope and pray that there is no such thing as fucking karma in the afterlife. Because if there is, you're fucked. Weakest fucking links, I swear to God. The people running this shit are the weakest fucking links. Family got brought up one time, and I'm like, I don't talk to my family. My extended family, I don't. Like, you know my family? Yeah. Oh, that's great, because I don't talk to them. Aside from a few healers that insist on DPSing until they run out of MP, or a few tanks that will pick up ads, it's been fine. Way better pug experience than most MMOs I played, right? No, yeah, so like I said, I literally, matter of fact, after this, I'll show you guys what I did. I'll go over it. I have no problem doing it. Well, actually, I can't, because there's something I do have to erase because of certain legal discrepancies, so... Oh shit. I'm fucking... My fault. Totally my fault. Yeah. I completely, like, literally, man... I have no problem making people money. I have no problem doing that, right? None. Especially the ones who have the initial resource. You know, they're investing, they're taking a risk, there should be some reward to it. I have no problem with that, okay? So don't get me twisted. Alright, I know the way of the world, man. I know actually more than most would ever want to know, and please don't ever want to know. That's my advice to you. But, you know, the thing about it is, at the end of the day, what I find to be the most hilarious part is the people who want to get themselves in business, right? And to reap the benefits, but they don't understand the business. And that was told to me by another company years ago who had offered me the opportunity to develop the product for their company. And I was like, well, you know, I'm trying to do it for these reasons. You know, I have my own agenda. It's not about money for me. It's about the trickle economic effect, you know. And literally, the company told me, why do we want to go to Ohio? You mean they don't understand the business? You can have people who are talented, but unless they understand the business, what good's it going to do us? And at the time, I didn't really understand that comment. I thought it was just a sarcastic jest. And here to find out, there's relevance behind it. Oh yeah, there is, because the people who have the degrees, which I'm mind-boggled that these people are claiming to be educated. I'm even more mind-boggled that an institution of higher learning would have given these individuals a certification of some sort, I mean, it's okay to have money, but let's not actually pretend that they're smart. Please, for God's sake. There are probably some smart individuals, but let's not beat around the bush, ladies and gentlemen. There are just some people who are just not that smart, especially with their own fucking money. Let alone, it's okay to be skeptical. Don't get me wrong. You need to be skeptical, especially if you're looking to invest anything. But when you literally make the statement, I thought I was under the presumption, under the assumption that these were solo produced. I'm looking at you like you're a fucking dipshit. Okay? You could have done the best things in life. You could have been, you know, a rocket scientist for fucking NASA. But when you make a statement like that, it's like, what would give you, what, who would even conceive that, what? And I'm like, you're aware that just in, you know, there's sound departments, graphics departments. This is not a little game. This is like, these are massive projects that require millions of dollars. Millions. Like millions of dollars. So I take it serious. I take it really, really serious. Right? And, you know, so for example, let me see. Let me see if there's a couple of things I might be able to show you, kind of what I did. Hold on here. Let me see if I can get to this. I might be able to remove some of these slides just really quick to kind of, because I put everything from a traditional format to a PowerPoint format. And that's kind of relative. So at least you'll get the gist of it. Okay. So I'm going to remove some of this stuff really quick so y'all get what I'm doing here. All right. All right. So let me pop up this really quick, and I'll go over it. All right. So we're gonna go to the slideshow, and we'll play from the beginning. Okay, so the company I was going to come out with was going to be called Mystic Games. I actually own the Mystic Games part from years ago, and this is just a slimmed down version of a prospectus. And of course, the slogan would be integrating the gaming experience, right? So cost, production, and return. Cost comparison by location, estimated cost of development, platform structure to market structure, product type and delivery, investment return to business model. Location makes a difference based on cost of living and taxes. So on this screen, what we have is familiar comparisons in the relative market. So we see the city of Redwood, the city of Rockville, the city of Boston, the city of San Diego, and where I reside, New Philadelphia, Ohio. Cost, so we see an increase in percentage due to the cost of living. The aspect relevance to this. So EA is located in Redwood, California. Bethesda is located in Rockville, Maryland. Boston is the home of Turbine. Daybreak is the home of San Diego is the home of Daybreak, and of course Mystic. And we see the cost difference based on location. And then below you'll see how that relatively compares in taxable revenue. right? Or what it's costing the company in taxes, adjusted taxes in the state of Ohio, but percentage value, and then the tax cost in dollars, in whole dollars. The effects due to the cost of living. Location affects the cost of living. Cost of living affects labor. Labor affects profit margin. So in this screen, we see the cost of living in Redwood, California is a 45.53%. So if we had, right, let's say $10 million, the difference would be an additional $5,008,300. So it would cost them almost $5 million more to make it in Redwood, California, based on the cost of living. Rockville, Maryland, 36.15 cost difference, $3,976,000. These are adjusted, based on cost. Boston, Massachusetts, 3.23. San Diego, California, so that's what we call a standard of value. And then, of course, New Philadelphia, Ohio, because we're piss poor, is under 11% of the national average, which is saving $1.2 million for every $10 million invested into development. Okay, the Unreal effect. Gaming engines are the backbone for product development. Development of engines are time-consuming and costly. For a company to develop its own engine, it would take years and millions of dollars. Hardware drivers alone can delay potential products and revenue. The company needs to keep production on track. The Unreal Engine, and of course I put a link there, provides immediate development without the upfront cost. The Unreal Engine also offers update driver support without delays. In 2019, which is this year, Epic Games will integrate their cross-platform software to the Unreal Engine for free. The cost for this convenience is 5% of the gross sales, but saves us time, frustration, and money, allowing us to direct our attention towards development. Okay. All right. Cost-effective labor through phase development. Very important, because why? You don't want additional overhead, people being employed and absolutely doing nothing because the development phase isn't requiring their position at that moment. So breakdown. So we have a phase 1, a phase 2, a phase 3, and a phase 4 during development process. That's standard in the industry, right? Okay, just a heads up. Phase 1, establish S-Corp and invested board members, acquire development material, and employ initial staff. Phase 2, utilize, well, we are not going to go there. Whatever. Sorry, we were going to use a university, was my hope. Phase 1, employ initial staff and acquire materials for development. Okay, so basically this is the first year's initial cost. What positions you would need, hardware, initial hardware, and you'll see on the bottom right expenses, labor, and adjusted cost. Okay. Department structures. Like manufacturing, game company development utilizes departments to make work more sufficient. Example, we have management, which is the executive director. We have department leads, lead combat developer, lead art designer, and department specialist, class developer, ability developer, concept artist. So you kind of get the idea. We'll skip that one. I guess I didn't cover everything. Year 2 expenses. So you'll see here we've added additional staff. That's increased in a little bit towards our supplies and our web development. So we have a phase 1 labor, phase 1 expense, phase 2 labor, phase 2 expense, total investment. Okay, building a brand. Branding is important to every major corporation. Customers identify with products and services a brand represents. Positive public perception of an established brand makes marketing easier. Ask yourself, where would Frosted Flakes be without Kellogg? Where would Mountain Dew be without Pepsi? And where would Reese's be without Hershey's? Mobile release to introduce main product title. Our phase 2 labor sheet, we added 3 mobile developers to our payroll. These developers will utilize the created content to develop a mobile introduction to our main title. Our mobile and main title will focus on the multiplayer experience. The mobile release should be introduced a year prior to main title. This allows consumers to identify us as an established company and become aware of our upcoming main title. Phase 3, finalizing for mobile release. Okay, so you're in development, you're utilizing the resources that's already been developed to basically scale down to introduce mobile release for branding. By doing so, you can keep development on track for main product title and introduce basically an introduction to the game itself, the title itself, and the consumer's knowledge of you as a company. So, mobile marketing strategy. Our goal entering phase 4 will be release of our mobile products. This product will be free to download, will be accessible on Android and iPhone platforms, will generate revenue through optional microtransactions, and will help promote our main title through in-game advertising. So basically, the more players who are playing your product for free are becoming aware of your upcoming titles, because you can integrate advertising for your titles as a company through that service. So basically, it's just, you're not having to, the more people playing it, it's free advertising for your upcoming titles. Okay? Your cross advertising. How to properly market to gamers. Majority of your target audience isn't listening to the radio or seeing ads while watching their favorite sitcom. No. It's not what gamers do. They're gaming, right? Absolutely. So how do you get the attention of a gamer? That's a very good question. Social media that gamers interact with. Twitch, YouTube, Instagram, and Snapchat are the 4 primary targets for advertising to the gaming market. Mobile marketing hierarchy. While Google has a wider audience as a whole, which is true for a media outlet, Twitch leads in the most gamer views due to streamers. YouTube, which is owned and managed by Google, comes in second, and Instagram, along with Snapchat, becomes our bottom tier ad focus. Promote, collect, assess. In the phase 3 cost analysis, we took into account $500,000 towards our initial mobile marketing campaign. The total amount should be divided over 6 months' effort to promote the product, collect data to determine future marketing strategy, and assess revenue gain to overall costs within each social media site. How the campaign fund is broke up. So, for example, we took $500,000. We divided it towards all 4 advertising. So we have the initial fund with Twitch, $200,000, YouTube, $250,000, Instagram, $75,000 each. Monthly cost expenditures are there, and then it breaks down to a daily amount. And of course, you see the pie chart, how it all is relevant. Mobile games and microtransaction. 90% of mobile games are free to download. Majority of these products rely on what? Microtransactions or ads to generate revenue or gain revenue. The more optional selection consumers have, the more likely they will use these paid services. Microtransactions, comparable gain per million. And this is basically how you would just give a general gist of how you would implement a microtransaction. And depending on the amount of people generating that transaction, what the gain would be as a gross. So, for example, 1,000 individuals buy X amount, 5,000 buy this. And then, of course, we cross-reference the average to the bottom. So if you take the total and you average it out, and you take the average, and you also calculate this, the 2,372,000 will be equivalent. Math is important, ladies and gentlemen. Cannot stress that. That's how you know you're doing your proper math. Okay. So, the difference of multi-platforming versus cross-platforming, okay? For most of us, we are gamers. We know what the fuck we're talking about when it comes to multi-platforming, cross-platforming. Though, if you were in the meeting with me, you would have realized these motherfuckers didn't know a fucking thing about tech whatso goddamn ever. They are just privileged people with money. Moving forward. Multi-platforms are individual platforms with separate server accessibility. A product may be produced for each platform, but are not integrated on the same server node. Okay, so they're running on separate servers. You can have a separate server. You can have like a mega server, like a huge server, but you'd have different partitions within that server if you wanted to, if it was capable of doing it. And basically, you can run individualized partitions on a server, a massive server, but more than likely you have individual servers. Just saying, getting it over with. Consumers are therefore restricted to game with only other players on the same platform versus cross-platforming. Now let's take a look. Cross-platforming are integrated regardless of preferred hardware. Products produced have unified access on the same server node. This allows for consumers to play their product with other players on multiple platforms. Hello, Final Fantasy and Square Enix. I love you guys. And play on their account regardless of platform choice. Okay, cross-platforming. Who's in and who's out? The console wars, which has a link, are the most frustrating aspect to developers. Platform companies are under the perception that if a game is exclusive, it means more business for them. While this may have some truth, it limits and costs development companies millions by restricting their target audience. Recently, development companies have put their foot down, and surprise, everyone is still making money. A platform choice should be a consumer's preference, not a developer's liability. PlayStation allows cross-platforming with PC. Nintendo will potentially allow cross-platforming with PC. To negotiate the possibility between console integrating on the same server will be our challenge. How it plays out. Our game will be on every major platform, so multi-platforming is no issue. Prime example. Cross-platforming is more tricky. So hypothetically, let's say Nintendo will agree to cross-platform with PlayStation. Same server, check. We already know that PlayStation will cross-platform with PC. So we have a PC, we have a PlayStation, we're in the clear. And let's say Nintendo will cross-platform with PC. Hypothetically, once again, check. Will PlayStation cross-platform with Nintendo? Okay. If not, they will be put on separate servers. Okay. Phase 4, preparing for main title release. So we have the total expenditures listed. It's still a small production team actually. But everything together was equivalent to about 16 mil 4-year development. Okay. Main title, our first main title game will be an MMO. Unlike shooters, action, or standalone RPG titles, MMOs have a longer lifespan, and because of that, we will generate more revenue over a longer duration. Our MMO will have a multiplayer and, on some platforms, be able to cross-platform as well. When we finalize our main title, other product development will begin once we have board approval. Can't do anything without the board's approval, just the way it goes. The average MMO lifespan, let's take a look. We have Ultima Online, 1997 to 2018, still running, 21 years. EverQuest, 1999 to 2018, still running, 19 years. World of Warcraft, we all know WoW, 2004 to 2018, 14 years. Rift, 2011 to 2018, 7 years. DCUO started 2011, 2018. Well, this was when I did this and when I had the meeting, but it's 2019. 7 years though. Never Terra, 7 years. Neverwinter, 5 years. Lord of the Rings, 11. DAOC, 17. Guild Wars, 8. City of Heroes, only 8 years. It got shut down. So did Guild Wars. Well, Guild Wars 1 still runs, but the average MMO lifespan is 11.4 years. 11 years and 4 months. Okay? That's pretty good. The average traditional game lifespan. So what do traditional single-player games do? They build franchises. Why? To keep the money generating. So Halo is a prime example. So we see Halo 1, Halo 2, Halo 3. I know there's other products, but just an example. 2001 to 2004. It's released to the amount of maximum generated. Halo 2, it released in 2004. Released 2007. Halo 3, 2007. You see a 3-year gap between every title. Coincidence? No, it's intentional. 3 years. Call of Duty, the original, 2003, 2005. Look, Call of Duty 2, 2005. And Call of Duty 3, what? 2006. So during the time we see this, you know, the bridging of how the games are being, single player games are being marketed and how they're being released and how the franchise is generating its revenue, right? Morrowind, though, it's a slightly different, you know, Bethesda games. 2002, 2006, 4-year average for its main, you know, market, you know, revenue gain. Oblivion 2006 to 2011. So we're going to gap between, right, during its development stage. 2011, Skyrim, 2011, 2014. Tomb Raiders, 1 year, 2 years. Okay? So the average single-player game prior to each additional successful expansion or, you know, follow-up or, you know, sequel is 2.1 years for a follow-up sequel, right? Every 2 years, a single-player game is produced in a franchise on the average. But how do they stack up against each other? Duration. When it comes to comparison in the duration, they don't. They don't stack up. They don't. Now here becomes the question, but don't traditional games make more money, Mystic? Don't they? Well, that's a good question. So let's take a look at that, right? Halo versus World of Warcraft. Halo sold 65 million units compared to World of Warcraft's pathetic 12 million in comparison. That alone grossed Halo over $3 billion versus WoW 600 million. But WoW has a subscription-based model, giving them over $2 billion gross annually. My question to you is how many players are still paying to play Halo? How many players are still paying to play Halo? That's why you see this new business model being implemented, right, by companies. They're getting smart. They're trying to get to the multi-platform and the service model. Unfortunately, the business model you have to be aware of. And they're not. They're not. They think they're smart. They're not. Okay, moving forward. This is why Mystic Games is integrating. WoW is only available on the PC platform. True? Absolutely. While ours will be cross-platform. Because of the Unreal Engine, our games will be available on PC, PlayStation, Xbox, and will be, well, at first, I was hoping to be the first, but there are announcements now for other games on Nintendo, and I have spoken with Nintendo. MMO business models. There are 4 types of business models associated with MMOs. Subscription-based, buy, sub, play, buy to play, buy and play, free to play, play, microtransactions, optional service, which is associated with games like Elder Scrolls, buy, play, microtransactions, sub, and perks. The last option gives flexibility to consumers, incentivizes loyal customers to subscribe for reduced prices in item shop, and receive, guess what? Loyalty gifts. No item shop product should promote buy to win aspects or sell loot crates banned by certain countries. I did put that in my thing here. No, don't do it. There are legalities being processed as we speak. Don't fuck with it. Pre-release phases. There are 3 phases prior to the launch of any MMO title. Alpha phase is a selective process. Alpha testers are under NDAs. Alpha phase is for 4 months typically. So what I was going to do. You can keep them up to a year, but, you know, depends where you're at. Closed beta is open to pre-orders. Closed beta testers are under NDAs. Open beta is open to all players. NDAs are lifted in open beta. Open beta is about 3 weeks. So this was our pre-release launch phase. Collect data and potential upgrade. It is crucial that all data collected during testing phase be taken serious. A failed launch sets the company back months in development and costs the company millions in revenue. Besides fixing bugs and performance, additional servers may be needed to ensure customer satisfaction. The closed beta along with the open beta gives us the data and appropriated time to add additional servers if needed. Pre-orders will help elevate the expense elevate. It should be alleviate the expense. Elevate. If we determine more servers are a necessity. Okay. Understanding price point margin. Okay. I won't get into a whole thing about price point margin in the MSRP, and this is a whole different ball game when you're talking price point margin and MSRP adjustments. Okay, so it's just a brief overview for people who are aware of MSRPs and price points. Okay. Understanding console licensing and distribution. It is important to understand that in order to distribute a product on a console, said company or publisher must have a license with that platform. A license, for all intent and purposes, is a contract with the company who owns said platform. Each company charges a percentage of profit, aka POP, from the initial sale of product. In return, the product is distributed on their digital store and connects to our server through their IP. Each platform's POP is negotiable but varies between 10 to 20%. Okay. Understanding direct and third-party distribution. So you can just it just goes on how I break everything down in comparison to profit margin gain between platform and adjusted variables. So deducting our liabilities to obtain net. So went over all this, breaking it down. Investment to return scenario. So basically, let me give you the gist. If our initial investment was $16 million, $10 million labor, $6 million expenses, it would yield us a net of $90 million with 5 million units sold across 4 platforms on the low end scale, making sure the marketing was done correctly. That's a return of $74 million, giving us a 54.76 profit margin on just initial sales. No microtransactions or no sub included. If only 20% of our customers subbed, only 20% at $15 a month, our annual gross would be an additional $180 million. Using the same math to deduct liabilities, our average subscription would yield us an additional $74 million of profit. In this illustration, we see a minimum of $148 million in revenue within the first year's release. But why do companies fail? I have been involved with MMOs for 21 years. And here are the most common reasons why games and their companies fail. 1, unfinished product release. No game is ever truly finished when it comes to developers, but deadlines are important to generate the revenue. Unfortunately, however, some companies get nervous and force an early release. If the game doesn't meet player standards, it sinks. 2, insufficient server capacity. I cannot stress enough how important it is to have sufficient server capacity. A game could have everything a player wants, but if the servers are incapable of supporting a certain number of players, players will quit and they'll take their money elsewhere. 3, flooded market. When it comes to the PC MMOs, there are a plethora of games already available on the market. But when it comes to the consoles, not so much. There's only 6 games currently that are multi-platform, and only 2 that are cross-platformed. If a company is limiting their product to only PC these days, they will fail due to an overwhelmingly cramped pond. The facts. But we'll get into it. Miss the games. I was hoping to integrate the gaming experience. And there you guys have it. That's what I was planning on doing. So, yay. I see the toxic ESO fanboys are hardworking work downvoting your stream again. Pathetic. Yeah, it's all right. It's all good. But, you know, the funny thing about it is, like I said, I've been just doing this a long time. I mean, you know, it is what it is. You know, I personally, like, people want to talk, and like I said, the only thing I know is business. You know, that's about it. You know, I'm an asshole. I am. I'm an ass. You know what I mean? If you ask, even, like, I remember walking into the office, the owner was there, and he was talking to me, and I'm like, there's one thing that you need to do, and that's, like, leave me alone. I'll make you money, but don't come in here pretending you know this business better than I do, because you don't. You own it, but you don't know it. That's the problem. You own it, but you don't know it. So here's my advice. Don't fuck with the people who are producing for you. Don't fuck with them. Don't assert your power trip on people producing revenue for you. Because the day you fuck with how you make your money is the day you stop making that money. So there's my advice. It's plain and simple. Do yourself a favor and be the little entitled motherfucker that you are, and you will die like that. And let the real people who's producing the results for you do their jobs. Okay? Simple. I wasn't liked much, but I'm honest. I always asked. I always said, just fire me. Go ahead. My brother, it's funny. He's worked for multiple companies throughout his career, and the owners are actually friends between 2 or 3 companies that he's worked for. The owners are friends with each other. And they're always, like, outbidding for my brother's position. Why? Because the man produces results. But at the end of the day, my brother's like, it's not about how much money who offers me. It's about your word. At the end of the day, I'll hold you accountable to it. It's about your word. It's only as good as you are, is your word. It's crazy to me, man. It's crazy to me. You know, you see people and you literally ask yourself, what the fuck happened along the way? I mean, Activision and fucking hiring somebody for 14 million in total assets? What the fuck? Boy, oh boy. Totally crazy, man. Totally nuts. But I've given up, man, because, like I said, I can't deal with it. I cannot be around people who claim to be something and they're not, because the only thing they really are is from they exploit the labors of others. It's what they do. And it's like, I don't have a problem with that, but don't come in here acting like you know what the fuck you're talking about, unless you know what the fuck you're talking about. I'll respect you if you do, but I'll even respect you if you don't. The only time I'm losing respect for you is when you pretend you're something of relevance and of insight, and you have no insight, and you have no relevant topic to really contribute, or relevance to contribute. The only relevance you have is a resource. You're a resource. That's what you are. Accept that. There's people in life that have to accept that they have to do shit work the rest of their lives. They've come to terms with that. It's unfortunate, but it's true. Like, people are like, oh, you can always... No. I mean, to a degree, yes, but no. So, but there's people that have come to terms with that in life. Right? They have. So, just come to terms with what you are. Just come to terms with it. You know? If you want to be significant and you want to be respected and you want to be, then educate yourself. That's all. If you want to be respected by your coworker, by your employees, then just be about it. You know? Be about it. But if you don't want their respect, then hey, man, just do what you do. Attach yourself and suck the fucking blood out of everything that you can. You know? Even leeches have to survive. I know that sounds harsh, right? Yo, Jack, what's up? How you doing today, brother? But, yeah. You know, the funny thing about it is, like, I don't know. Like, I'll do my thing, right? I'll do it. I mean, I will. I'll do it. I'll do it. I'll put in the work, but I'm the type of person, I won't shut the fuck up. I'm unfiltered. I am unfucking filtered. I am completely unfiltered. Oh, shit. And I know a lot of people are like, man, I wish I was like that. No, you don't. No, you don't. Trust you and me. I hate it. I wish I was one of these individuals that could just, you know, just nod their head. But I can't. I wasn't brought up like that. I wasn't. Neither is my brother. Like, people are like, well, how is your brother so successful? People ask me. Because, you know, I'll be honest, I'm a po motherfucker. I'm po as hell. But I'm comfortable with it. I'm fine. I'm not one to complain about my circumstances in any capacity. So it's funny because, like, I love how people want to, you know, try to demoralize your character or what you really are bringing to the table. They try to justify their judgmental assumptions. But at the end of the day, it's best, you know, ignorance is bliss. And I tell them, you know, if you want to be ignorant and you want to go ahead and give yourself a false sense of security by assuming that everybody can be categorized as such, then yeah, go ahead, man. That's on you. If it helps you sleep better at night, hey, no problem there. I have no problem with how you perceive me. But just note that I do the same thing in return. Like, I don't feel like everybody... Let me say this. I don't feel like everybody is... Like, I hate arrogant people, no matter the capacity. It doesn't matter. I'm arrogant. I hate myself, to be honest with you. Like, I hate myself at times because I know I'm arrogant. So, what do I do? I don't talk about something I'm not aware of or assume something. The best thing I can always do, because I already know I can get on people's nerves, right? I already know that. So the one thing I always want to do is be open-minded and hear people out. And people like that, right? It's because it gives... I'm doing it for multiple reasons, but... wrong button. Screwing up. Geez, DPS. At least you're on a good one. Oh shit. This dude. I can't. I gotta get away from this tank. God damn it. Dude, get the fuck away from me. Oh my god. He's on the same shit that I'm on. I've gotta go. There we go. Good. Hi, ass. Never know. Alright. Whoa, 4 dislikes. Yeah, it happens. Dude, can't decide on Ninja, Samurai, Red Mage. I know. Okay, so Ninja and Samurai are like up close and personal. Ninjas like have like some of the best, like their ninjutsu switches them out. Samurai, it's all about the combos, and so you know how your rotation goes. And Red Mage, once again, is just it's a mobile powerhouse. It's just like range mobile powerhouse is how Red Mage rotation is a little bit more tedious, though, I would say, but because you have to get in close. Like, you have range capability, but at the times when you want to really hit hard, you got to get up close with the Red Mage. So, but you have these, like, where you can move in and out with the, your abilities, which is really cool. Yeah, 4 dislikes. Yeah, it happens. It happens, Jack. I got haters for days. It's okay. One of them is actually, 2 of my dislikes are typically from one specific individual. Usually. It's fine. But honestly, like, I don't know, man. Like, I'm glad you stopped in, though, Mitch, so I could talk about this and kind of clear the air. I do got to get going here soon. But, so I guess I could clear the air about the business. I really wanted, here's the thing. I could possibly leave Ohio and go elsewhere to generate this, whatever. But it was because of the cost of living, the money that was saved for development, the relevance of the trickle economic effects, that I wanted to do it in the state of Ohio. But here's the problem. I'm surrounded. I have people in charge that are dumb. And they might be brilliant. Don't get me wrong. They may be brilliant when it comes to their field or what they're doing. I don't know. I can't assume or presume anything. But when you come and I'm in a meeting and I'm in a meeting with you, or I present you with the evidence, the facts, the data, right? When I am putting this in front of you, right? When I am delivering what I'm doing, what my job's to do, and I'm putting this in front of you, and you ask a question, a dumb question, which has all the information you need, then I'm looking at you like, dude, I just explained the entire infrastructure of the gaming industry in a nutshell. I broke down the cost, the initial cost analysis. Now, there are different variables and that's what I was going after. There were different variables that were significant that had to be calculated as well. But how would you answer at the end of a meeting with, I assumed that one person developed these type of games? Like, what the fuck are you talking about, man? Like, were you not paying fuck attention? Are you? I know you're relevant. I know you're important. I know there's some whatever behind you, but I honestly, how do you expect me to perceive you now? How do you expect me to perceive you? Wow. Okie day. But whatever. That's why I've given up. I've literally given up. And literally there's like one individual who I have no respect for. I feel he's a fluff boy, and his position's fluff boy. Like, he's a fluffer. Like, I have no respect for this individual whatso goddamn ever. He's got a fluff job. His fucking job is basically to bow down, get on his knees, and suck. So, and there are people in the world that do that. They put on a pretty show, but when it comes down to it, boy, these motherfuckers don't know a fucking thing. They're fluffers. And, hey, man, you got to have fluffers in the world. I know. I know. I know. I get it. I get it. You got to have them. You got to have somebody that makes your head feel like, make you feel like you're king of the world. If you got the resources to be king, you got to have people who will get on their knees and worship you. I know. I know. I know. I get it. So, you know, I'll call it how I see it. I'll call it how I see it. People won't like it. They won't. They'll hate it. They'll hate it every day. But you know what? That's okay, man. If you're holding on to something, I feel bad for you, motherfuckers. Nothing in this life is worth holding on to or getting an attachment to, because everything in this life, you have to sooner or later learn to let go. You have to learn to let go. And when you can accept that, you will truly be free. You will truly have the freedom that you long awaited. Freedom is a state of mind, people. You know, freedom is a state of mind. And power is the illusion that keeps people contained. Okay? It's pretty much about it in a nutshell. But, what am I? Yeah, I don't know. But I got my dailies done. The reset's going to happen here in a little bit. I got to go do some stuff. Jack, I want to thank you for stopping in. Mitch, I want to thank you for stopping in. Irish, always my man. Y'all better be checking him out. For real, for real. But, yeah. Let me know what you guys think, you know. Did I do a good job? Did I do my job? I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I missed something. I don't know. And keep in mind, I downsized the entire presentation. You know, I even put it in almost a layman's terms, so most can conceive what the fuck. But whatever. Whatever. All right, guys, I'm out. Once again, I'm Mr. Craven. This is Mystics MMOs. And all of you, please, please. I hope you have a nice day.